Sam, the interior of the line is really, really solid. Like, you three guys seem to work really, really well together. You guys have been productive in your time in the league, respectively. The outside, there seems to be a couple questions entering the season. Are you guys expecting to take on a little bit more responsibility on the inside in order to offer help to the guys on the outside?
Offensive line is a cohesive thing. So, we all got to be seen through one set of eyes at all times. That's the unique and great part of the position. So, we're just trying to build that camaraderie, build that fluidity throughout our unit. And that starts on the exterior, that starts on the interior. Definitely helps having guys like James and Cody who have done it at a high level. You're talking about Cody, who's a Pro Bowl guy, and James, who was just coming into his own last year, and, like, the sky's the limit for him. So, me being, this is my second year playing, high-level football. Having those guys, and then whoever's on the exterior, having those guys be prepared, that's the best.
Sam, how much weight did you put on this offseason, and how did you do it?
I could play my cards right. I'd probably get a sponsorship out of this. Chicago has a lot of good food. I love Lou's. But honestly, Lou's. Yeah, thin crust, deep dish, whatever. It's all good. But working out hard, honestly, and eating. That's really the biggest thing to it. But there's some weeks where I was doing 10+ workouts in 1 week. Just trying to get strong, trying to get faster. I think my official weight was like 332, and I came back even heavier than that for OTAs, and just was, for 5 weeks, I knew I could shed about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of fat. So it was just dieting the proper way, cutting out carbs at night, drinking enough protein, getting all the grams in. So just stuff like that, trying to be a professional.
What was your eating regimen like during the offseason?
Everything. I ate whatever I wanted to. It was an offensive lineman's dream, and just trying to get as strong as possible. Like, that was my only goal. It was put up as big of numbers as you can, and then throughout, I knew I had the time between OTAs and camp, so I knew where my body was going to be during OTAs. I mean, it's not padded, so you don't really know, and I didn't have the opportunity to work against Eddie during OTAs. Like, I was looking forward to that too. Like, that would have helped a lot, but having Bilal in there was good. Having Keem back for vet mini camp was awesome. And then having Tonga, he's a strong guy for a young guy. So I was able to gauge where I was at in terms of the strength and how I wanted to get there. And then, just shed a few pounds of fat during that 4 to 6 weeks.
How much of a difference have you noticed with the change? And do you think it'll be even more dramatic when you guys put the pads on?
Yeah, I mean, we still have a lot of time to the first game of the season. So there's a lot of room for growth in terms of muscle development. And then, the great thing about camp is it's all football, and I love that. So, whatever the film's showing me is what I'm going to do to prepare in the weight room as far as speed, mobility, and strength.
Where do you hope to feel that weight when you guys are in the and you're playing? Where do you hope that it's noticeable for you?
I don't think it's as much as the weight as it is, like, muscle. Like, I think I'm at the highest amount of lean body mass I've ever had in my life, which was huge. And, that's something I work with Jen Gibson on to, figure out, like, what do I need to do this offseason? How do I need to train? What are the foods that I need to be putting into my body for me to reach those goals? So, my strength numbers went up. That was the critical thing. You can get big and just get fat and slow. Like, it was just, I wanted to get strong and explosive. And so, like, I feel like that's where I put the weight on. And then these last few weeks, just trimming off some of that fat.
I hope that Matt Nagy is having a faster camp this year.
Oh, it's awesome. The goal is to be one of the fastest practicing teams in the NFL. And, conditioning is everything. If we're getting into the fourth quarter and the drop-off is here versus it being here for other people, then, that's an advantage for us. And so just pushing the tempo and being consistent with that is the best thing we could do.
On that offensive line, you guys, I know during OTAs we're doing everything together. And are you already sensing more synergy maybe this early than you did last year?
It's a little bit early to tell, but, this year getting back to a little bit of normalcy, hopefully, I think that's going to be able to help us a lot. It's not just on the field, it's being able to trust guys, hang out off the field, go grab a bite to eat together, get to know each other's family. Like that's where you build it, because then you're moving and doing everything as one. So you know where everybody is at all times, and we're building that. And I think we enjoy it, like being around each other. And the game of football is the best job in the world.
Sam, you mentioned playing against Eddie. Now that you've done it for a few days, how's that going? And maybe for you, taking the next step, playing against him and the ones more and more and more.
I mean, it's awesome. You know, getting to work against just that defense as a whole is incredible, and what Coach Desai has them doing over there is awesome. So, you know, getting to work against top-notch guys, high-level guys, down in, down out is, you know, it's critical for my development and everybody's development on our offense. Like, if we can push each other to be better, like, I'm sure, you know, you study the great list of centers in Bears history. There was a nose guard that was opposite of them who was a monster, and that's what Eddie is. And, you know, that's what Akeem is. That's what that whole defensive front, you just pull a name out of a hat, and, you know, you're going to get great work.
Sam, you work with Olin, right?
Yes.
What kind of impact has he had, especially at this stage of your career? Because even though he was like a second-round pick or whatever, he seemed like he was a little undersized, not the biggest center in the league or whatever, and needed to get bigger. At this stage of your career, what kind of impact has Olin had just in general?
I mean, it's hard. It's really hard to quantify that. You got a guy who played that long at that high of a level. That's really what it is. It's coming in every day and trying to match that intensity. Like, it's the same every day. You know, you come into the gym and you got to understand that you got to match a certain intensity. It doesn't matter how you feel, if you're sore, if you're tired. You got to match that intensity every day. And the way he approaches everything that he's done after football is the same intensity that he approached it during the game. And so, like, you know, I could probably train anywhere else, but it wouldn't be the same. Like, he has experience and knowledge. Like, to quantify that amount of starts, like, in a row, like, people don't do that. That's an anomaly, and to do it at the level that he did it at is also a very critical thing. So the knowledge that he has about his own training, and then gathering whatever he doesn't know, he goes and gathers it for us and then brings it back to us and is like, here's what you can do. If you need anything, I'm going to do my best to get it for you. That's just the type of guy he is, so that's invaluable for me.
That he's taken that much of an interest in you, what kind of a compliment, and how much confidence that gives you, how do you feel just about that aspect of it?
Yeah.
Well, as somebody who's done as well as he is in the league.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a guy who's already in the Polynesian Hall of Fame, who's probably going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. He's right down the road, and I have the ability to work with him. Like, it's an honor for me, like, to go to that gym, to be able to be a part of that group, that group of people, like, and being around that all the time. Like, it changes your mentality and your focus and your understanding of exactly what it takes to be successful at really anything that you want to do. But right now, like, all I want to do is football, and, you know, it's my passion. It was his passion, and, you know, he's still, you see the fire that he has for it, and getting better and pushing us to be the best that we can be.
How about Jay Hilsenberg? Have you reached out to him at all? I mean, he's still in the area.
Yeah. I really only work with Olin. I work with a few guys outside of that in terms of soft tissue and recovery, but Olin's the main person that I train with.
Sam, what's the dynamic been like between you and Andy? Just kind of getting that chemistry down, getting to know him, and maybe things you've learned from him just because you've been in the league for so long.
Yeah, he has been. I asked him yesterday, in his first year in the NFL, I was a sophomore in high school. So I was playing defensive tackle when he started his NFL career. That's been awesome. You know, Andy's a great guy. He's a vet. His understanding of how to lead an offense and lead a unit is awesome. You know, having a guy like that back there with experience, and just, you know, him sharing and being able to, you know, gather us, calm us down as a unit that's invaluable stuff.
Have you had a chance to get to know Kevin Jenkins at all? And does he fit well in the room? Do you think that he fits well with you guys?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, our scouting department does a great job of putting in the proper pieces in our locker room. They take great pride in that, and yeah, Tevin's a great guy, hard worker, just wants to get after it.
You mentioned that the body changes, but just how different do you feel from when you first came in here as an undrafted free agent?
Way different. I think when I came in, I was around 303, and I was always, you know, pushing to be, like, that's the thing nowadays, be as lean as you possibly can, lean. So I wasn't putting in the necessary calories into my body to, you know, just get as strong as absolutely possible, linchpin it during the season, and then just keep on trying to, you know, gain speed with the strength that I have now, accelerate my skill throughout the season, and then to try to put on more strength as we get closer and closer to game day.
Sam, what's different for you coming into this camp with the starting role, with some of the added respect that you got from playing last year? What has changed a little bit for you in this camp?
You know, I don't really think much has, because, you know, every day that I come in, it's the same hunger and passion and love and energy that I had for the game when I was an undrafted guy. I feel like I have a little bit more experience about the schedule, you know, how to prep, how to, you know, what times I need to be doing certain things. Like, I feel like that's where the experience comes in, but my mindset is still the same, still, you know, fighting, scratching, and clawing, because as quick as I got it, as quick as it can go. So the mindset is still the same, and it's really just what can I do to help the Bears win? Like, it was the same when I was an undrafted guy. As long as I'm helping the Bears win, I'm probably gonna have a job. You know what I mean? So it's been awesome. Training camp every year is all football, and the best job in the world.
Thanks, Sam.
Thank you guys.